stupid app called? Can't answer in my headphones. Hello?
Oh, you sound different. Almost like as if you were coming through an alternative kind of device. You just sound newer and fresher.
Yes. You're going to be disappointed, though. Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to the OverAndOut show, episode number
30.
30.
Is it
Can you
30?
believe it? We've
That's
made
a
it
whole
to 30.
month. That's a whole month.
That is a month. That is a
Yeah.
month. I have got the new iPhone 11 Pro Max. That's what's happening. That's what's just arrived, and that is why Ryan is telling me I sound sultry and delicious. However, the reason I sound different today is because I am wired in my headphones. Basically just because my iPhone doesn't now want to connect. Bluetooth doesn't work. Can't get it to work.
What?
Just can't get Bluetooth to work. It'll airdrop, so I know it's working, but it won't connect to any Bluetooth device at all. So, I know this is going to sound really backward, but I have had, this will be the sixth iPhone I've had. Sixth, I think, something like that, fifth or sixth iPhone. Every single time I've got a new iPhone, right? This sounds horrible in my ears, by the way.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I can't hear anything, so I don't know how loud I'm talking. But every time I've got a new iPhone, I have set it up from scratch. Like from scratch, totally from scratch, and re-downloaded all the apps manually. Yeah. I've never restored a phone from iCloud, so I thought I'd just do that today because I have so many things set up now on this phone. I was like, I'll do the iCloud thing because everyone seems to do it and it works great. So of course iCloud was full, couldn't back it up, had to pay to upgrade my iCloud crap. So now I'm paying for that shit. And then I did it, and it took 7,000 years to back up and then to reboot. And then once it did that, it said to me, oh, you can actually just transfer everything from phone to phone. Brilliant. Why didn't you tell me that at the very beginning instead of asking me to set it up from a backup? So I did that, and now I've had nothing but problems with it.
Well, you got 99 problems, and an iPhone is all of them.
Yeah, it's annoying, because I'm such an Apple fanboy. And I support them so much because I like being in that ecosystem. And then little annoying things go, like I wanted to just enjoy the swipe up and not having a home button. I went from an iPhone 8 Plus, so I wanted to just enjoy that experience, getting used to that. But I can't because I'm trying to do actual things to fix the phone, and I keep forgetting there's no home button. That's driving me insane.
Have you put your face on it yet?
Yeah, that's on it.
No.
I've reset the thing 5 times. If anything was going to
break it, that would be it.
Yeah. I've rebooted it 5 times. And then I've gone onto one of those like, hey, so apparently Bluetooth's a thing with iPhone 11. Apparently it's a thing, it fails. So it is. I've searched the internet.
Mine works absolutely fine.
I'm on the internet. Loads of people have an issue. It's a common problem. So I was like,
I just use it error right there.
5 different ways you can fix it. Did them all. Doesn't work. It just says, like, honest to God, dude, every time I go to Bluetooth to the toggle switch, for anyone that's looking at the old screen, it's just sitting there going, looking for devices.
Have you switched? I know this sounds ridiculous.
Yeah, on and off.
Have you
reset network settings?
No, your headphones.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm looking at now. I'm now going
because you need to hold it down, and it'll say to you like,
pairing.
Oh, I'm looking to pair with someone.
Yeah. To try it doesn't work.
And also, did you delete your headphones from your old iPhone on the Bluetooth?
Yeah.
Because that's what always gets me. It's like that's what I hate about Bluetooth. It doesn't. That's why I will not connect these headphones to my laptop. I always use wired because I've been doing stuff on my laptop, and then it tries to connect to the phone, then tries to connect to the laptop, and it's a horrible experience. But I actually think, though, because apparently with the new iPhones, they've updated it now. So if you have 2 people with a set of, those AirPods, like, so technically now, like, if we were listening to a podcast or music, I can I can have a set of AirPods and Yasmin can have a set of AirPods, and we can both be listening to my iPhone through both sets of AirPods. So they're probably being a dick about things like this, like these headphones, because they want you to buy AirPods.
Yeah, true.
Because that's usually what they do. That's their jam.
I'll never buy AirPods. I'm not interested in them at all.
You say that. I've said that.
I don't like in-ear things at all. I don't like them in my ears.
Well, yeah, because I suppose your ears will be bleeding, full of liver spots.
Yeah.
And the like. No, actually, but to be honest, if you don't like in-ear things, that's fine. But AirPods in general, I was chastised by so many people when I first got them. And then a few people were like, are they actually any good? And I said they're life-changing. You do not understand how good they are until you actually get them. And they were like, fuck off, not having them, not buying them. And then they bought them and they were like, wow, they really are life-changing, aren't they? So don't knock them till you try them. But if you don't like things in your ears, then...
Yeah, I just don't like in-ear headphones. I have like 6 pairs of iPhone Why? By the way, very sneaky their packaging, because I thought they gave them with the new phone. You know?
No.
I mean, here, shout out to
man.
Apple. Do you see when you pay £1,200 for a phone? Just chuck in a pair of £100 headphones, for the love of Christ.
I know. I think that's bullshit that you don't get the AirPods with them.
Yeah, like I wasn't expecting it, but then when I opened the box, the way they're sitting, they look cableless, and I was like, "Oh wow, maybe they do. Have they finally done that?" No, we're not going to give you that, but we are going to give you a fancy plug. I'm like, do you know what?
But have you charged that phone yet? It's ridiculous the speed it charges. Ridiculous.
Doesn't matter though if I haven't got 4G or Bluetooth. Now I haven't got 4G anymore either. What is going on? I wish this was live so people could interact and go, "Oh, Dylan, all you need to do is hit it with a brick a few times." It's just like.
That's really interesting. I've not had any of those problems.
I mean,
is it on the Max specifically? Because I've just got the normal size one.
No, it just says all.
Oh, okay.
Turn on Bluetooth to allow Bose Connect to connect accessories. Yeah, that's what we're trying to do, fam. Still,
well, if you've just tuned in, this is Dylan trying to fix Bluetooth,
trying to actually operate his phone on a. Anyway, how are you today, dude? Screw the phone; it could do whatever it wants.
Today. It's been a downer day today. I'll be honest. You know how I really want to go outside and do the fucking things I want to do. Just actually, there's nothing particular I want to do outside. I just don't like being told to stay inside, and I just like the option to go and have a coffee somewhere, or go and have a juice somewhere, or maybe buy some donuts. I don't know. Go see my granddad. Go see my sister. I don't know, something like that. And I'm just finding you have to stay inside stuff just a bit. I just want something a bit more. I know you hear on the news all these people are dying every day, and it is incredibly tragic and it's horrible. But at the same time, you're like, people die every day, and and then it's not happening in front of my house, and I don't know anyone that's died from it, and I'm just being told stuff by the TV, and because it's not directly affecting me. Yeah, it's a really hard thing to sort of, believe and assess and
for sure,
and sort of say, you're telling me to stay in, but I'm not seeing anything. I mean, we've been over this before, but and there's plenty of like stories out there. I mean, I don't know if we spoke about it yesterday, but there's a poor girl who her mum died of coronavirus, and so she was living with her mum, and and I'm pretty sure this is the story. So if I get this wrong, I apologize, but it's pretty much the story. So her mum got ill and then got much worse, then was carted off to hospital, unfortunately passed away. She was only 58 years old. And then her daughter, or one of her daughters who lived with her, is at home. And she was just like, I still have all the Mother's Day cards up and around. No one could go to her funeral. No one was there with her at the end, apart from the NHS workers. And, I can't even see my sister. I've spoken to her on FaceTime and stuff, but I'm just here on my own and I don't know what to do, kind of thing. And I don't even know if I want to go out again. And I'm like, fuck, so not as she only had to deal with her mother getting coronavirus, then her mother leaving, knowing that her mum is the NHS workers I'm sure did their best, with her, to be with her and everything, but none of the family were there. She would have just passed away. There's no real funeral or anything. And then she has to stay in the house on her own. You know, no one to cuddle her, no one to, you know, and that's just, when you hear stuff like that, that's pretty horrible. But at the same time, I don't know her. It's just a story on TV, and you know, and she's like, just please stay inside, and I'm like, I don't. It's so weird. It's just weird, and it's getting to me, to be honest.
But how did her mom get coronavirus?
Oh, I don't know. That I didn't hear the beginning of the story.
All right. No one set the scene. But the thing with that is, it's like it gets to the point where you go, I actually don't give a shit. I'm just gonna go visit. Like,
well,
if that was me and the people I live with all died, I'd be like, I just phone up a family member and say, I'm now coming to self-isolate with you. Am I hell sitting by myself? There's a girl across the road from my mom who's, I don't know, mid-30s, something like that, and she lives by herself, and she was walking up the road the other day, and they were walking down the street, and I happened to be chatting to them. Yeah. And I don't know what it was, but they, just for the record, I was one-wheeling back from the shop. My parents were walking down the street. I have to clarify that now because it's illegal. I was one-wheeling down the road. My parents were walking down the street. I was chatting to them while I was one-wheeling past as this woman walked up the road the other direction. And she just sort of stopped and looked over at them and was like, didn't really say anything. And I was looking at her, I didn't know who she was. Looking at my parents going, what the hell is happening? This woman's looking at my mom's going, all right, love. And I'm thinking, what's happening? And she just kind of went, and then muttered something very depressing, and then carried on walking up her road. And I said to my mom, who the hell was that? She goes, oh, it's a girl across the street from us. She lives by herself. Like, and I was like, oh shit, that's got to be tough. And then I suddenly registered why she was like, because she's just sitting in the house by herself. She wasn't walking a dog. She was just out walking by herself. Yeah. Morbid.
Yeah, no, I have been thinking about people living by themselves because I mean, I do like being by myself. You know, I'm not going to lie. But for this amount of time, I don't know, it would drive me fucking mental. Yeah. You know? Not being able to talk to people and, you know, well, I mean, you can obviously online and everything, but it's not the same. I don't know. It's weird. And there's part of me just going, is this a massive overreaction? You know, are we overreacting? Are we making more of this than we should actually in the bigger scheme of the human race?
You know? I know.
But at the same time, it's like, yeah, but if that were my granddad on the end of that coronavirus, I'd be thinking the same way. Like, fuck you guys, get inside. You know, you just killed my granddad, you know?
And you're right, though. Like, because when you watch stories of, like, younger people being like, you know, stay indoors, I feel this is how it affected me. And people like videos online. Still not enough of them. Not that I need everyone to make videos, but... when you watch those, it's like, oh, okay, it sort of hits home. But exactly like you said, I'm looking out my window and I'm like, I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing any of this. It doesn't feel real. It just feels weird. And then, there's just, I don't know. There's a large part of me doesn't believe any of it.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
like, legit. And then Boris rolls out of hospital the other day looking fit as a fiddle. And I was like, excuse me, fella. 7 days ago, you needed oxygen, and now
it wasn't even that long.
Juggling.
It was literally, he was in intensive care like the day before.
Yeah.
Or like 2 days before, and I'm like, you look pretty good for that. Yeah, and the other thing is, do you know the other thing that's weird as well is that there's no one who's second in command, like officially. Like that Dominic Raab guy, I think he's the foreign secretary, was like, they refer to it as like he's stepping in for Boris. It's not like you've got a vice captain. It's just like they've gone, shit, who's the next one? Oh, okay, I suppose he'll do. And it's to me, that's insane. Like, because you know in America you have, well, let's not call it.
Is that?
Let's just like just talk titles. You have a president and then you have a vice president. So if something happens to the president, vice president will step in. And then he will run the show until whatever is decided is decided. With us, it's like, oh, okay, what do we do? And I feel that's not a very good leadership. You know, I feel that there should be someone that's there to go, right, okay, Boris is fucked. Now what we're doing? Because now they're still saying, like, well, we're still going to sort of stay in this limbo until Boris is back up and running. And I'm like, from what I've been told on the news, some of the people that recover from it are fucked. Like their lungs and shit won't work for like properly ever again. You know?
Really?
Yeah. Some people apparently like they got out of it and they're well, but you know all their insides are kind of ruined, and they don't. Well, obviously they don't know how long it will take to repair, if at all. And you kind of think, well, hang on a minute. So Boris could relapse, and but if he's on holiday sick, surely someone steps in. But it just seems like it's a bit airy-fairy, the step in. It's like as if Boris isn't there, no one can do anything.
I mean, look,
it's weird, right?
I find it. I don't find it that weird because I've never really taken UK politics. This is such a controversial thing to say. Seriously.
We did talk about Nazis the other day, so I think nothing.
But I've always felt like, and maybe it's just because I was younger, but growing up in South Africa and seeing what the States is like, and Germany and Nazi regimes and certain Asian countries, I always feel like there's a lot of countries have a president, boss who's elected in power, and he has a deputy, she has a deputy, and they make fucking decisions.
Yeah.
But I've always felt the UK government's like a group of people have been put in charge, I'm using little rabbit ears, to basically speak out loud for the percentage.
Yeah.
So it's like in the States, they say, Trump, you're in charge, and then he just goes around going, hey, let's do mad stuff. And then people are like, well, he's a president. Where here it's like, well, you're the prime minister. You're there to make our decisions that we want, not the decisions that you want. So it doesn't really matter if he's got a second in command.
But they're still hidden in the decisions that he wants.
Well, yes.
I think we have an illusion of democracy. I think that's what it is. But to be honest, I don't think the way the government's run in lots of countries isn't. And this is controversial. I'm kind of a firm believer in benevolent dictatorship, because it's like, yes,
which means what? I have no idea what that means.
Okay, so like you have a dictator who is basically someone like I think it's Kim Jong Un in North Korea, where it's like he says what goes down, and if you don't like it, you'll get fucking killed. Essentially, that's the sum of it. Now, that's like dictatorship, and I think Che Guevara and Cuba was the same. Is it Che Guevara? I can't remember. That's bad. That's bad. Let's rewind a bit.
Left school at 14. Anyway, remember?
Yeah. Yes. So dictatorship. Now, if you have a benevolent basically means like he
benevolent
does things for the good. Benevolent. Oh wow, that's my theme tune for when I become a benevolent dictator. So basically, it's like they do stuff, but it's good stuff. Okay. They think for the people, all about the people, and everyone. No one is chastised or segregated from other people. So basically, it's someone who's, imagine like an angel Nazi.
Jeez, wow! There you go. Angel Nazi.
Imagine someone an
extremist for the good.
Yeah, I guess. But it's like, but there's no option. It's like, right, so I'm going to give you all 10 grand a year, whether you like it or not, because I want you to be able to open up the world of opportunities, and we're going to make NHS completely free. And these people are going to pay more taxes, but actually we're going to give them relief in other areas as long as they're employed, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So basically, but then the problem with that is that, well, what's good for one person or what you believe is good for one person won't necessarily be good for someone else. Like, so if I say to you, right, I think we should have universal credit, so it doesn't matter who you are, the moment you turn 18, you get paid 15 grand a year. Whether you want to work on top of that, it's up to you. But you will get that money, and that's all you're going to get. That's like a good salary. And then some people are going to go, wow, that's amazing, that's awesome. It's just like everyone's paying for everyone else, and it's really great. And then someone will go, oh, but I want 17.
Well, prime example, that freelance thing, 2,500 a month for freelancers. Some people are like stoked, and there's other people going, oh, this isn't going to cut it because this is my busy part of the year. And I'm like, that sort of doesn't really work for everyone.
Yeah. I think actually when I was in Rome earlier last year, I don't even remember. And we were
2019. What a year!
In 2019, a year of freedom and travel.
Yeah. I know. I said to Pamela yesterday, I did so much traveling last year. I was like, there's a part of me feels like the world's just going to end, and that was just giving me a good last year.
Yeah.
Like, enjoy 2019 because everything's going to burn to shit in 2020.
Yeah.
What a shit year 2020's been.
No, but I was going to say, in terms of like making things equal and fair, like the Romans had this back in the day, they had this system where if you want, like, water was free in the whole of the city, and bear in mind they'd just invented like piping and the waterways and all that kind of stuff. Now the thing is that in order to make water free for everyone, if you wanted water direct to your house and you were a rich person, you had to pay a tax for water.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was kind of nice because, like, yeah, you could go anywhere in the town. They had all these places where they'd, fountains and stuff where they'd have water. But if you wanted water to your house, you would have to pay more because obviously you're richer. But then that would fund everyone else in the city to have water for free. And I thought, isn't that a great system? It's like, so if you want something a little better, well, no, much better, you have to pay for it because you're rich. Yeah. But it then affords everyone else to have something for free. And I actually thought that's like, if only we could apply that a bit more to like what we do now.
Well, it kind of does, but it's selfish.
Work.
It's done selfishly, isn't it?
Mm.
It's like I pay for the top of the range internet because I need and want the hot. So like if you were saying like, right, by paying for more expensive internet, you fund like lower class people or people with low income or no income free internet.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah,
I mean that's definitely not life or death, but yeah.
No, but that would make sense, right?
Yeah,
like if I want 100 meg a second because I work in video, if they said you have to pay an extra £5 a month because we want everyone on low income to have free internet up to 20 meg, I'd be like, great, do it.
Yeah, I'd be up for that. Yeah, doesn't bother me either.
And I think that's kind of cool, right? So
well, it's the same goes with like taxes, like what you pay your tax as a freelancer. Like I know that if you push up to the next tax bracket, you pay more tax, and initially, like I've heard people complain about that, and I'm like, well, yeah, but at the same time, it's a ridiculous amount of money. So when you start paying that, you pay a bit more tax to help out those that don't have it because it's supposed to be a team.
I think the problem is though there's a piece in the middle of that, like the middle classes, let's call them, that because I think the bracket is so huge. Like anyone earning, I think it's 42 grand in England anyway, 42 grand to like 149,000, they're still getting taxed like 40%. And when you're like on 60 grand a year, getting charged 40% on everything over 42 grand, it's like, it's not as fair, I don't think, because I find that there's people that
like there should be smaller incremental
I think
changes.
there should be some more
especially where you
but
are.
The thing is, the government don't want. Generally, the government don't want people to get richer. That's the thing, and that's why they have that fucking horrible, brutal inheritance tax, because they don't want money to travel down a family, which is just fucking disgusting as far as I'm concerned. Because it's my mum, my mum worked really hard for her whole life, and anything over your worth over 350,000, you're taxed, I think, 40% on.
Wow.
So
I still don't get inheritance tax. I don't understand.
Well, no, you shouldn't have to pay it at all, as far as I'm concerned.
Because it's money that's already been taxed.
My mum spent her life paying tax, right?
Yeah, and she's like, "There's the money. I'm going to give it to my son." But if she'd given you that in cash,
well, I'd probably have had to hide it under my pillow for fear of the HMRC coming to.
Well, you wouldn't be able to use it now. That's for sure.
No, because you can't use cash anyway. Actually, which I thought today. Just a little side note here. I wonder how homeless people are faring at the moment. Because
interesting you say that. Drove through Newton Ards yesterday,
Where?
day before yesterday, whatever that horrible day was. I was away to pick up stuff from Tesco. On the way back, I drove through the centre of Newton Ards because I thought, I wonder if everyone's out sunbathing in the square, and there wasn't. There was no one out. So shout out to Newton Ards folk because they weren't out, but there were like 4 or 5 homeless folks just like sitting on the benches, and I thought, oh yeah, they're still there. Forgot about that.
The thing is, as well, is they live by cash. Yeah. And because everyone's being encouraged. I mean, I don't know how. I think they're probably on a downward spiral anyway in terms of cash, because obviously the further into the future we go, the less cash we use anyway. Yeah. But Jesus Christ, that was a horrible burp. That I could almost taste that.
I could taste it.
So what happens like when you don't have spare change? I mean, do they have to get some kind of like smart reader and you tap them on the head and give them a pound? Sum up
machines, yeah. Bing.
Well, no, it's a genuine thing, because I know there was one country or one town in America, I think, where they I think they got homeless people and they put like wireless antennas on them.
Oh yeah, for like Wi-Fi.
For Wi-Fi, and I thought that's weird, but then they could get paid for it, whatever.
Great
but
idea
then,
though.
Yeah, no, it's a fantastic idea. But I'm just wondering, especially with like people that sell the big issue as well. I mean, because you're not dealing in cash. Isn't that weird?
True.
Like, how do you then do that? And then who will then provide these people with the sum up thing? And how will they? Do they have a bank account, a PayPal? I don't know. No, it's a thing. Yeah, a Monzo card. I don't know, because I just think it's because there's a fair few homeless people in Chiswick, and it's just like, they go, "Have you got spare change?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't carry cash anyway," but like now it's like, well, we're being asked not to carry cash.
Yeah.
So fuck.
And
knows
even if
how
I
those
did,
poor
I
guys
couldn't
are
give
going.
it to you because you have to stay 6 feet away.
Well, yeah, that's the whole. Because it's weird though, because I've
You have
noticed
to
with the
throw it
homeless
at them.
people. Yeah, no, with the homeless people, they've still got the little cup on the floor and stuff, but it's like.
I don't think it matters,
yeah.
does it? I mean, maybe it doesn't. Maybe when you get to that point in life, it's like I don't care about a respiratory disease.
Well, no, this
Just
is
want to
the thing,
get
is
my
that-
next meal.
my next meal, yeah. And then the thing is so should you? I don't know. I just think it's a horrible place. It's almost like people like being homeless. It's like, how do they self-isolate? I mean, I know they're pretty isolated anyway, generally, but like they make their living, from crowds and people.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine what those people must be going through right now, which is pretty horrible.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow. Thanks,
episode
Brian.
30, guys. Thanks.
Jesus Christ.
Anyway, yeah. So the point I was making is that,
homeless people aside, forget about poverty. Is that Bluetooth working yet?
Yeah, that's
No.
what let's go back to that. No, it's not working yet.
Well, I
Oh,
don't
dear.
care about my Bluetooth anymore because you've it's not a problem.
It
when you
doesn't
think
matter
about it.
anymore, does it?
It doesn't
It's like,
matter. But
you're not-
that's
you're
the thing,
not-
though. It's all comparable. Like it's a huge problem to me.
Yeah.
It's not a problem to someone.
Homeless
that can't eat.
person can't eat. Dylan doesn't get Bluetooth.
Guy doesn't. Yeah. Guy can't get
totally.
wireless headphones connected to phone. Loses the will to live. Burns his
Yeah.
house to the ground.
Yeah. Anyway,
Oh
so
my goodness.
But initially, I was saying that my creativity is just fucking. It's through the floor at the moment. Today was just. I was like, I've got time and space to think of ideas, and I'm like, I got nothing. Like I don't know what's happened. It's just, or if it was ever there. I don't know. Yeah, I just kind of think, what could I do? I've got all the time in the world to think about making a video or doing mute, and I'm just like, yeah, I got nothing. It's horrible. It's really horrible. I
just
don't
saw
know
you
if I'm
put
just
a-
getting old.
But you just put a story up of you playing the keyboard.
Yeah, do you want to know how long I'd lasted after that story? About 10 minutes.
I was going to say, this is like me with my guitar. I look at my guitar and I'm like, get that guitar. And then I play it and I'm like, it's out of tune. Can I be bothered tuning it? Not really. I'll tell you what I will do. I'll just go lie in my hammock in the sun.
Yeah.
But today, I was actually shooting stuff today. I was in the garage, built up the studio a bit again.
But you were
shooting
doing
some
work,
product,
weren't you?
Actually doing work, shooting some product
but you
stuff.
see,
I'm actually
that's
editing. I actually do
that's-
have work.
I think that's different though, because it's like if I had a product shoot to do, or actually no, I've got some editing to do, which is fine. I can do that, and that's not a problem. It's a bit creative work on that. But it's just like when you finish that, and you're like, I could make a video about something. Then I'm just like, I just feel dry of ideas, and it's
Demotivated.
horrible. Yeah, it's demotivating, and you just So I end up just fucking I helped I helped an Indian get his little smoking pipe back today. That's what I
Sorry,
did.
hold on a second here. Backtrack.
Yeah.
What? What does that mean?
I helped an Indian get his little smoking pipe
Right.
back
When you
today.
say Indian, I'm thinking red Indian. You're
then
obviously
you'd
not
be right.
a red Indian.
Yeah.
You were playing a game.
Yeah.
You're playing Red Dead Redemption. Okay.
I was.
I thought
That's
maybe
all I
there
got
was
going for me now.
Right. Okay, I'm with you. So Red Dead. So it's a game because I
Yeah.
was thinking like there's
I
an
blew up
Indian
a
man
bridge
in the
as well.
street. Brilliant.
No, I didn't do that. No. That's kind of, it's kind of funny because what did you say? I helped an American Indian or a red Indian get his pipe back, and I blew up a bridge to piss off the army. That's what I did.
There you go.
Oh,
Well,
and spoiler alert, I've also got tuberculosis.
Oh, you've got that, have you? I didn't tell you about that. I wanted to hold that one back. It's
No.
depressing.
But I managed to. But when I stole the pipe,
Yeah.
I didn't kill anyone when I stole the pipe back, and he gave me a little feather thing, which apparently increases my health.
Yeah. Do you want a complete spoiler alert for the whole game?
Oh, has Pamela finished it?
Yeah, she finished it in like a day.
What?
Pamela finished that game in like a week, dude. Like,
you're kidding me.
Dude, she's a weapon with games.
I don't understand it because it takes me 4 hours to fucking ride my horse from like the bottom of the map to the top of the map and not get fucking distracted by.
It takes me 10 minutes to turn it on, and then I'm at that point I'm done. I'm on my phone on Instagram again.
Yeah.
Basically, he gets tuberculosis and dies.
Oh, okay.
Regardless of what you do.
Oh, so I die in the end. Right.
It's basically, there's a shit ton of different ways to do stuff, and then you die.
Okay,
it's quite true to life, to be fair.
That is
but
very
Pamela
true.
told me that, and I thought, not interested now.
So there's can't
beat the system.
There won't be a Red Dead Redemption 3.
There might. Maybe you're different. Maybe you're one of the other characters. Maybe you're the horse. Maybe you're the guy that you threw off the cliff last week.
I think they'd have to do a prequel though, because at this point, for anyone who's interested, it's 1899. So like this, the modern civilized world is coming in, and the old west is being chucked out, and this is the last of the dying cowboys. So they'd have to do a prequel, or they should just fucking make it medieval. Let's just like going around with morning stars and just fucking.
Then you end up in that other game. What is it called? I can't remember. Guy with the hood jumps around, stabs people.
Oh, Assassin's
Creed. Real. Assassin's Creed. It's basically that, isn't it?
Is it? I don't know.
I got that game thinking that'll be good fun because I played it once for like 5 minutes and thought this is great. I like stealth things like that. Like in Call of Duty, I love sniper rounds.
Yeah.
Because there's no immediate panic on it. So, but then I'm not a game person. I get very bored playing games.
Yeah. I quite like. I just like the whole Red Dead Redemption thing, and I'm a big cowboy fan, big Western fan. So it works for me. There we go.
Favorite Western movie?
Ooh, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, or Once Upon a Time in the West.
Good. Spaghetti. My dad is a John Wayne fan, and when I was a kid, like that's all he used to watch. Actually, I say he used to, still does. Go around his house sometimes, and he's just sitting there watching a Western in black and white, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" And he goes, "Just watching this one of the first John Wayne films." I'm like, "Goodness me, fella, is that 4:3 ratio? What's happening?" Goodness.
Yeah, got to sort that shit out. Yeah.
So,
black and white, 4:3. What is going on?
Jeez Louise, everything's got that kind of transcontinental sort of sound to it, Like speaking like that sort of thing.
Yeah, and most of it was probably filmed in Spain as well because it was cheaper.
Oh yeah, where we went in that music video.
Oh fuck, I forgot. We just did a Western, didn't we? That's why. Yeah, I say we just did a Western. That was like 2017 or something. That's like literally 100 years ago.
No, it wasn't really.
I think it was. It might have been 2018. Yeah. Anyway,
no,
it was like
couldn't have been 28. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It was some years ago, right? We went to Spain. Brilliant.
We shot a Western music video.
Yeah, we shot a country and Western movie. That was good fun. Loved that. Got such a good suntan. So stoked with it. I've never had such a dirty camera as I did that day. But as far as my creativity goes, I'm having my ups and downs.
Yeah.
Got a message from my mom yesterday about the last episode 29. 28, episode 28.
Did she like it?
Saying, well, I'll read
Was this the one with the Nazis in it?
This is the one where I got really, really angry.
You got really angry?
Yeah. And she was like,
what are you doing with your headphones? I literally cannot hear you.
I don't know. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
If I move, you can't hear me. So the message was just like, everything all right, love. Why are you so angry? That's really,
how did she not know you?
I don't know. I was just like, well, having a bad day. Been locked in a house for fucking 30 days. Everything's getting a bit tedious. Yeah. And then it's like, you make steps to... what really aggravates me generally in life is when I do something productive and I go, do you know what? I'm just going to do that thing. Comes back to what we talked about yesterday. By the way, if you watched yesterday's, my bad. Cocked it up. There's no excuse. But... when you do something that is
Oh
like
my
a
God.
stupid little task, and you go, I'm not gonna stop putting this off. I'm just gonna do it now, and then it still cocks it up. Like me with this bit of foam, I was gonna deal with this and be like, oh, I'll just keep duct tape it. And I thought, no, you know what? Just go outside, measure the thing up with a tape measure, cut the piece of board to thing, get the foam on it. You know, just cut it correctly, and I did. I measured it perfectly. I ordered the Velcro. I waited for it. I applied it all correctly. Timed it. Did it just peacefully. Did the thing that needed to be done, and now foam's fallen off. And now I'm like, well, so even if I do the thing correctly, it still comes back to bite me in the ass. It's like, it's just you know, it's like, what's the point?
You know what?
Is
it sounds like you've got a case of millennial burnout.
Don't call me lazy.
I know. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Anyway,
So
I think let's just cut it
Go.
off there.
All right, cool.
That is it. We are like 36 minutes in. I think it is. I can't.
Yeah,
can't
something
see
like
my
that.
old millennial / Generation X eyes can't see anymore. So
Gen X.
yeah, Gen X, millennial. Oh, I'm going to stop talking.
Doesn't matter. Catch you tomorrow.